All right, Yankees fans, let's dive right into the latest updates and speculations surrounding our beloved team. Lately, there's been a lot of chatter about Brian Cashman and what exactly he's been up to during this offseason. Many fans are jokingly saying he's frozen, that he's nowhere to be found, but I have a different take on it. Imagine this. Brian Cashman is helping Santa Claus. I know it sounds a little out there, but think about it. We're just days away from Christmas, and if anyone needs assistance getting all those presents delivered on time, it's Santa. Cashman is out there somewhere, probably lost in the snowy expanses of the North Pole, doing his part to help Rudolph and the rest of the reindeer get ready for the big night. It's almost like watching a scene straight out of the movie Elf, which has been a favorite Christmas movie for many over the years. Somehow, our general manager has ended up in that version of the North Pole, and that's why, from a certain perspective, the Yankees seem frozen this offseason. Now, while it's easy to get frustrated with a quiet period, it's important to remember what Cashman has accomplished in the past. When the team lost a key player like Juan Soto last year, they responded in a big way. They secured Max Fried, acquired Cody Bellinger, signed Paul Goldschmidt, and brought in Devin Williams. These moves were strategic and strengthened the roster, showing that when the Yankees need to act, Cashman knows how to deliver. I strongly believe that another significant trade is in the works. The Yankees are in a position where they have to improve the team for the upcoming season. Competing against strong opponents like the Boston Red Sox, the Toronto Blue Jays, and the Baltimore Orioles requires bold moves. Those teams have been improving steadily this offseason, and the Yankees cannot afford to stand still. This is where young talents like Jason Dominguez and Spencer Jones come into play. Both players represent significant potential, and one of them may be at the center of a major trade. If the Yankees manage to retain Cody Bellinger, or even bring in someone like Kyle Tucker, it could make either Dominguez or Jones expendable. It's a delicate balance, because while trading talent can strengthen the team in some areas, it can also leave gaps if things don't pan out. For example, Trent Giesam is on a one-year deal for $22 million. If he underperforms in the next season, having traded both Dominguez and Jones could create a serious problem. That's why I think the Yankees will likely move only one of the two players, rather than both, by the time spring training rolls around. Looking closer at Jason Dominguez, his rookie season showed promise, but also highlighted areas that need development. He hit 10 home runs, drove in 47 runs, and finished with a batting average of .257 and a 719 OPS. These numbers were higher than some of the other players on the roster, indicating that Dominguez has considerable potential. However, his performance in the outfield and against left-handed pitching was challenging, which was tough to watch as a fan. Despite these struggles, he showed flashes of brilliance, particularly late in the season and during playoff at-bats, demonstrating that his offensive ceiling is very high. This is a player who, with more experience and refinement, could be a core contributor for the Yankees in the future. Even in the Winter League, where he is currently playing, he's being tested in different scenarios, such as hitting from the right side of the plate and playing left field, which may temporarily suppress his stats, but is invaluable for his long-term development. Spencer Jones, on the other hand, had a breakout season that surprised many. He smashed 35 home runs, drove in 80 runs, and maintained a .274 batting average with a 932 OPS. His power and consistency were evident, with standout performances in April, June, and July, although he did have some struggles in August. Despite facing challenges against left-handed pitching, his overall stock remains extremely high. Jones struck out a lot, 179 times, which is an area he will need to improve, but his talent and potential for impact at the major league level are undeniable. Comparing the minor league performances of both Dominguez and Jones is interesting because it provides context for how each player's skills may translate to the majors. Dominguez, for example, hit above .310 across different minor league levels with an OPS of .880. While his success in the minors hasn't fully carried over to the major leagues on all fronts, his development trajectory suggests that he could be a major offensive asset in the coming seasons. It's also important to understand that translating minor league performance to the majors is rarely straightforward. Not every power hitting season in the minors will result in the same dominance in the big leagues. Spencer Jones' minor league numbers were impressive, but expecting him to immediately replicate a 932 OPS as a rookie in the majors is unrealistic. Aaron Judge achieved generational status because of his unique talent, but that is the exception rather than the rule. That being said, both Dominguez and Jones bring different strengths to the table, and their futures in the Yankees organization will likely be influenced by how the team balances current roster needs with long-term development plans. As the offseason progresses, it becomes clear that the Yankees are in a pivotal moment. Decisions regarding trading prospects, retaining key players, and bolstering the roster are all interconnected. The team must weigh immediate competitiveness against the potential growth of young stars like Dominguez and Jones. One misstep could have significant repercussions, yet the potential payoff is equally substantial. Fans are understandably anxious, as every transaction could shape the direction of the franchise for years to come. The energy in the Yankees organization is palpable, and the moves they make now will reflect their commitment to staying competitive in a league that is continuously evolving. While it may seem slow right now, history has shown that when Cashman acts, he acts decisively, and it's reasonable to expect that he has a major move plan that could redefine the team's outlook heading into the 2026 season. Continuing with the Yankees' offseason dynamics, it's clear that every move the front office makes has to be carefully calculated. One of the biggest points of discussion among fans right now is the balance between developing young talent and bringing in established players who can immediately impact the team. Jason Dominguez and Spencer Jones represent that balance perfectly. Dominguez, with his potential and flashes of brilliance, could develop into a cornerstone player for the franchise if handled correctly. His ability to hit right-handed pitching effectively last season shows promise, but the adjustments he needs to make against left-handed pitchers and his defensive consistency in the outfield are critical areas that must improve if he's going to reach his full potential. Even with those challenges, his minor league track record, where he posted an OPS of .880 and maintained a batting average over .310 across 3 different levels, indicates that the talent is undeniably there. The Yankees have to decide whether they are willing to be patient with him or whether his current value makes him a viable piece in a trade that could address immediate roster needs. Spencer Jones, on the other hand, has already demonstrated an ability to dominate in the minor leagues, particularly in the power department. 35 home runs and 80 RBIs, along with a .274 batting average and .932 OPS, are remarkable numbers for a player who is still considered a prospect by many. However, his struggles against left-handed pitching and high strikeout totals suggest that there are still areas for improvement, especially as he transitions fully to the major leagues. The Yankees front office faces a tough decision. Do they hold on to both Dominguez and Jones for their long-term potential? Or do they leverage one of them in a trade to acquire an immediate impact player who could help the team compete against the Red Sox, Blue Jays, and Orioles next season? These are not easy questions to answer, and the decisions made now could have ripple effects for years to come. Looking at the bigger picture, it's not just about individual players. The Yankees' strategy this offseason has to account for the competition and the current state of their roster. With Max Fried, Cody Bellinger, Paul Goldschmidt, and Devin Williams already in the mix, the team has a strong foundation, but depth and versatility are key in a long season. If the Yankees are able to re-sign Bellinger or bring in someone like Kyle Tucker, it could alter the calculus regarding who remains expendable and who becomes untouchable. Trent Gisham's 1-year contract at $22 million adds another layer of complexity. If he underperforms, having traded both Dominguez and Jones could leave the Yankees in a precarious position. This makes it more likely that only one of the young stars will be involved in a trade, if any. It's also important to consider the psychological impact on the players themselves. Both Dominguez and Jones are young athletes with immense potential, but they are also still learning to navigate the pressures of Major League Baseball. Dominguez's challenges in the outfield and against left-handed pitching are natural growing pains, and his strong performances late in the season and in playoff situations show that he has the mental fortitude to succeed at the highest level. Spencer Jones' power and ability to rebound from slumps demonstrate resilience and adaptability. These qualities are invaluable for a team like the Yankees, who are constantly under the microscope and must perform at an elite level every day. Another factor to consider is the Yankees need to stay competitive in the American League East. The Red Sox, Blue Jays, and Orioles are all improving, and the division is more competitive than ever. The Yankees cannot afford to rely solely on past success or the promise of young talent. They need to actively make moves that strengthen the roster. This could mean trading a prospect for an established star, signing a free agent, or even making a bold trade that surprises the league. Whatever the strategy, it will need to be carefully executed, balancing short-term gains with long-term sustainability. The role of Brian Cashman in all of this cannot be understated. His track record shows that he is willing to make bold moves when necessary, and his ability to identify talent, negotiate trades, and build a competitive roster has been a hallmark of his tenure. While it may seem like he's frozen this offseason, in reality, he is likely weighing every possible scenario and ensuring that any move he makes aligns with the Yankees' long-term vision. Patience is critical, but so is decisiveness. Fans may grow impatient, but history has shown that Cashman's timing is often impeccable, and his moves frequently exceed expectations. As we examine potential trade scenarios, it's worth noting that the Yankees have multiple paths forward. They could package either Dominguez or Jones in a trade for a high-impact player who addresses a current weakness. Alternatively, they could hold on to both and focus on internal development while supplementing the roster with free agent acquisitions. Each option comes with risks and rewards, and the front office must carefully balance these considerations. The key is to remain competitive in a division where every team is making improvements and to ensure that the Yankees enter the 2026 season with a roster capable of contending for a championship. Looking at the players' individual metrics provides further insight into how the Yankees might approach this. Dominguez's performance against right-handed pitching, with an OPS of .768, demonstrates that he has a solid foundation to build upon. His struggles against left-handed pitching and defensive inconsistencies are challenges, but they are also areas that coaching and experience can improve. Spencer Jones' power numbers are impressive, but his strikeout rate and performance against left-handed pitching indicate that there is still refinement needed before he can be considered a complete major league player. Both players have the talent to make a significant impact, but their development must be managed carefully to maximize their potential. The Yankees' decision-making this offseason is a balancing act between competing in the immediate term and building for the future. Retaining young talent like Dominguez and Jones provides potential long-term benefits, but it may limit the team's ability to make high-impact moves that could improve their competitiveness right away. Conversely, trading one of these prospects could provide short-term boost, but it comes at the cost of potential future stars. This is the type of strategic decision-making that defines successful organizations, and the Yankees are in the midst of that process right now. But before we continue, please remember to join our channel and give this video a like. Your support allows us to keep bringing you the latest news about the New York Yankees. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments. Whispers are spreading through the corridors of the baseball world, and they all point in the same electrifying direction. Juan Soto could be on his way back to the New York Yankees, this time not as just another star, but as the unquestioned centerpiece of the offense. Sources close to the situation suggest that conversations behind closed doors have intensified, fueling speculation that the Bronx Bombers are preparing a bold move to redefine their lineup around one of the most feared hitters of his generation. The idea of Soto wearing pinstripes again has ignited imaginations across the league. Insiders hint that the Yankees' front office sees him as the perfect solution to a long-standing desire for a left-handed hitter with patience, power, and postseason temperament. Soto's rare ability to control the strike zone, combined with his flair for delivering in high-pressure moments, fits seamlessly with the franchise's identity and its relentless demand for star power. What makes the rumor even more intriguing is the suggestion that Soto would not merely slot into the batting order, but assume a leadership role at the heart of the lineup. The vision being whispered is of an offense built around his presence, forcing opposing pitchers to rethink entire game plans. With Soto anchoring the middle of the order, protection suddenly becomes a luxury, and the ripple effect could elevate everyone hitting around him. There is also talk that the Yankees believe Soto's maturity and confidence could resonate in the clubhouse, setting a new tone for accountability and belief. Those close to the team claim that his return would signal an aggressive statement, a refusal to settle for incremental upgrades, and a commitment to reclaiming offensive dominance. For now, everything remains in the realm of rumor, but the noise is growing louder. If these whispers turn into reality, the Yankees would not just be reacquiring a superstar. They would be betting on Juan Soto as the face, voice, and driving force of their attack, a move that could reshape expectations and send shockwaves across Major League Baseball. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the New York Yankees, please subscribe to our channel and give us a like. We always appreciate your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.